Ticket is a Spanish word. You may be surprised to know that. It's actually been adopted from English. It's an Anglicism in Spanish, the word ticket. We're going to talk about that today. We're also going to talk about different types of tickets. We're going to talk about other things like bills or receipts or prescriptions, other things that are, basically a piece of paper with something written on it. We've got a lot to get through today. So, welcome back to my sofa in beautiful Barcelona. I am Daniel, and this is Learn Spanish with Daniel. Let's go. While we're here, I have an announcement. I am now on Substack. I'm writing about Spanish life on Substack. Head over to spaintogo.substack.com. That's where it's at right now, spaintogo.substack.com. Substack is just a platform for bloggers and writers. There's a lot of people on it, but you don't have to follow the whole platform. Just go to spaintogo.substack.com and check out what I have written. Subscribe so that you can get my updates every time I write something new, talking about Spanish life as usual, sort of as a companion to the podcast and to this channel. Okay, so if you're in a restaurant and you want the check, it would be la cuenta, por favor. La cuenta, por favor, is to ask for the check. La cuenta is the check. Cuenta could also be una cuenta bancaria, a bank account. There's a lot of uses for some of these words, but la cuenta, por favor, is a Spanish expression you'll be using with some frequency. Another one you'll hear probably every day if you are in Spain is ¿Quieres el ticket? El ticket. There's two ways of spelling ticket. One is the official Spanish way, and the other one is the English way, which is just how we write it in English. ¿Quieres el ticket? This is for the receipt from the credit card reader, generally. Now, basically, everybody pays by card, at least in urban Spain, so they'll always be offering you el ticket. Also, if you go to the supermarket, they'll give you a receipt there. That is el ticket. Un billete de autobús. Un billete is a ticket for the bus. Un billete de autobús, un billete de tren, un billete para el metro, just like tickets for transport. I think in Mexico they use boleto for this. I've never heard the word boleto used in Spain, but in Mexico, definitely. There's also un billete de 50 euros. This is the 50 euro note for currency. Un billete de $100, $100 bill. In the US, we tend to use bill when we're talking about currency. In Europe, we tend to use notes, 50 euro notes, 100 euro notes. In any case, billete is the word for that. Un billete de 50 euros. Una entrada para el museo is a ticket for the museum. Una entrada. In this case, entrada comes from the verb entrar, which is to enter a place. So entrada is just something that lets you enter a place. Una entrada para un concierto is the same thing. Venta de entradas, you might see, as like an announcement that this is where they are selling tickets. Venta is sale, so it's like ticket sales, the box office perhaps. So entrada is a ticket that allows you to enter a place. Now that I'm thinking about it, we have a traffic ticket in English. In Spanish, I think that would probably be una multa de tráfico. Multa is a fine, so una multa de tráfico, because the important part is that you have to pay it. Una receta is also a pretty good one. Una receta médica is a prescription, like a doctor's prescription. Una receta médica. Una receta de cocina is a recipe. The word is pretty similar there. Recipe, receta. So una receta de cocina is the instructions for how to make some food. Factura is a bill. La factura de la luz is the electric bill. La factura de gas is the gas bill. La factura del agua is the water bill. El agua is a topic I talked about. It looks like it should be a feminine word. In fact, it is a feminine word, but we say el agua. I'll put a link to that. It's like one rule I hate in Spanish or something like that. So factura is a bill or an invoice. After that, we have the word recibo. Recibo is sometimes confused with factura, but technically recibo is different. Recibo means that I have received the money. It's a receipt for payment. Factura is just like, I can send you a factura and you have 30 days to pay it. Recibo is that you have paid it. So it's a different thing in that sense. It's talking maybe about the same transaction, but whether or not it's paid is the key factor there. As I mentioned earlier, ticket can also be el recibo. It's the receipt for buying something. I got a couple more here. Cupón is possibly a lottery ticket. Cupón could also be a coupon, like you bring something in for a discount. I don't know if this is a common system here, but it probably exists in some form. Cupón as a lottery ticket, we have El Cupón de la Once. El Cupón de la Once is la Organización Nacional de Ciegos de España, I believe. It's an organization for blind and deaf people that sell lottery tickets. Like, it's just kind of a work program for blind and deaf people where they sell lottery tickets, and it's adapted so that they can do that. It's just been around forever. Sometimes you see, like, when I open up the newspaper, they'll tell you the numbers for El Cupón de la Once. I don't buy this kind of thing, but it's around. Also, if you're talking about the Christmas lottery, the ticket for that is el décimo, because it's 1/10 of a ticket is what you buy. I don't know, it's a complicated system. El décimo is a ticket that is 1/10 of a full ticket, which is what you buy for 20 euros, I believe. Long story. Christmas lottery. Finally, something that came up on a list of synonyms here is papeleta. La papeleta is the ballot when you're voting. La papeleta. The ballot. So I will soon be voting in Spanish elections. This will come up in my life, but otherwise you're not going to hear it much. You could maybe hear on the news about el recuento de papeletas, which is the counting of the ballots, if we're following an election in the news. So that's a lot of vocabulary. Once again, head over to my Substack, spaintogo.substack.com. You could also subscribe to this channel, like this video, etc. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, and hasta la próxima. Bye.